welcome to our BDAT 1010 coursework project. It's called Intergalactic Crime Data Analysis. And here's our team members, Mohamed Refaie, Pranav Patel, and Naini Singh. We were given this project to analyze the interplanetary crime data. The objective was to clean, structure, and analyze the data set to provide meaningful insights into crime patterns across planets. Our approach focused on 4 key steps: data cleaning, developing a star schema, leveraging DAX metrics, and also creating insightful visualizations using those DAX metrics as well in Power BI. So let me introduce you to the data cleaning phase, which was particularly critical. Beginning with, the first thing we did for data cleaning was addressing the blanks. And we had lots of columns with lots of blanks of some certain types. And the generic ones that could be dealt with blanks by replacing zeros in them were dealt. And those columns were such as date, and we have an end column here, overtime hours, and lots of other columns. So our approach to deal with those blanks was replacing them with a 0. Now we had one extra column saying incident reported time, and it had 70% of the data was blank in the rows. And we ended up deleting that because we could not take the risk of reasonably substituting any zeros to it, because it would heavily affect our metrics and our stats of the whole data. So since it did not contribute to any of our analysis, we ended up removing that. Additionally, we encountered this column here. Yes, the incident response type ID and incident response type. Initially, this column, it had very less of its binary coded data in it, and we had lots of blanks. And again, this was one certain condition of blank which could not be replaced with a 0, because 0 means something here. And we noticed a pattern, as this column is correlated with this column. So for every initial investigation, it's given a 0. And for every follow-up investigation, because these two are the only 2 types of responses of incident, it's given a 1. So it was easy for us. We went to our data tab and we chose filter, and we were easily able to select accordingly and replace those values to make a meaningful impact on that. And we also ended up standardizing our data format for all the columns. So if you look up closely, incident response type, we format cells, we choose that, and you can see we have set the standardized data type as text to it. So for a numeric column, overtime hours, you can see the data standardized for this is a number. So far, that was the most data cleaning we could do, and we didn't expect any other data cleaning because everything was in set for us. Okay, so once this whole data was cleaned, we were set to develop a star schema, make our fact tables, dimension tables, organize the data set efficiently for analysis. The schema was later formed, which would be discussed by Pranav here.
Thank you, Naini. I will explain the star schema we have designed for our project, and the schema consists of a central fact table and 3 dimension table. So this structure is designed to optimize data retrieval for our analytics and reporting purposes. So we can see that this is the center table, which is a fact table, and it has the key columns like incident response type and galactic force and officer rank and so on. And it also has a foreign keys like incident type ID, and it also has a date, which is a foreign key from the team date dimension, and it has a location ID from the team location ID. So these are the foreign keys here. Looking at the dimensions table, so under the location dimension, it has a two main column, location and location ID. The location ID is a primary key, and it provides basically the geographical context for further analysis. And if we look at the dimension incident, it has a incident classification and incident type, and also the primary key, which is the incident type ID. So it's offered detail about the incidents. After that, looking at the date dimension, which has date with day, month, quarter, and year. And also we have created some measures for further analysis, like overtime by date, overtime hours, overtime percentage, and so on. So the main relationship between these fact table and dimension tables are one to many for dim date and for dim location table. But for the dimension incident, it's a many to many relationship. So basically this star schema is designed to handle the analytical needs of our project efficiently, and it provides a structured and initiative way to explore key metrics across the different dimensions, which would be helping us to derive meaningful insights for our analysis. And let me introduce the measures which we have created. So these are the measures which we have created. For overtime by date, we can see that we have calculated the total overtime hours for each specific date and isolating the context to only the date column. Under the overtime hours measure, this measure sums up all overtime hours from the fact table to give a total. And under the overtime percentage, it just calculates the percentage of overtime hours, and it's give the overtime hours in the percentage format. After that, we have also made the measure for regular hours. This measures compute the regular working hours by subtracting the overtime hours from the total hours. And then we have also made the rolling average total hours measure. This calculates the 7 days rolling average of total hours worked from for the trend analysis purpose. And after that, we have also made the total hours measure, which shows the sum up all hours worked and including overtime from the table, from the fact table which we have. We have also made the total hours by date. So this measure calculates the total hours worked, which is grouped by the each date. And then we have also created the fact table in which we have added the measure called incident count. So this measure just count the total number of incidents recorded in the fact table. For adding into the visualization, we could use this all measures. Now onwards, now I would like to call Mohamed for the further explanation.
So the visualization and the uncovered result from it. So the first one here we have is the total incidents. We have the 17 plus thousand total incidents. The 17 plus thousand total incidents hour breakdown is 10,213 hours for overtime, 15,124 for regular hours. Then we can see down there is the total incidents by year. And 2022, we saw that we have 4,905 incidents. In 2023, we saw 10,213 incidents. Observation is we have a significant increase in incident from 2022 to 2023, as this the depicted in the bar line charted as well here in the table. We can see the difference between location and year their incidence hours, total incident hours. So we can see that the Cloud City Federation has the lowest hour in the 2022 and the highest in percentage increase in 2023 from 6 hours 25 to 228, and the feed neutral has the highest number of hours in 2022 for 3,882, and the highest increase in number of hours to 7,177. And we can see this represented in the two-part representation of the this here. So this is the total overtime, and this is the total incidents by location and incident classification. This is the total time, and this is the total overtime. So for the total incident by classification, we can see here that the Imperial Legal has the dominant classification by 84.62% with more than 14,000 incidents, and the miscellaneous is 13.32%, and the other Imperial Legals are very minors to count. The third page here we have a comparison between the three type of the investigation. So interstellar court, follow-up, and initial investigation between location. From this one, we can see that the first observation is the counts. So we have initial investigation count total 4,337. Total follow-up investigation is 12,000, and the total interstellar court is 156. And the other interesting observation here is in the Cloud City Federation, we can see the initial investigation 364, and the Imperial City Federation, again, the initial investigation, the 382, they are very close in numbers, same as the Krauskent in neutral 495. However, when it comes to the follow-up, we can see that the follow-up investigation in the Cloud City 281 and the Imperial City has 1,758 follow-up investigation. That's mean most of the initial investigation has been closed and there is no need for follow-up in the Cloud City. However, in the Imperial City, we have more than follow-up investigation open for only 382 investigation, same as in the Croxent neutral 495 initial with 1,828 follow-up investigation. Again, this bar chart represents the difference between the initial and follow-up investigation between location, and this one down there is the count of the interstellar court by location. In the pie chart down there, we can see the percentage of the follow-up is the dominant between the three types with 71%. The initial is 28%, and the court is less than 1% with 0.92%, 0.92% of the total number of the incidents.